What is going on, guys? JFC here. I missed you guys. You guys probably didn't miss me because all I would have ranted about yesterday was about the lack of content and the fact that the content on this game is just not very good, in my opinion. There's a lot of content, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of good content. But obviously today we have got the hero SBC, at least expected, right? We have no guarantee of the fact that we're going to get that for sure, but it is expected. And because of that, we're seeing a little bit of panic on World Cup icons right now. I think LOA Ron's like 630, 640. He's down a lot from where he was just basically yesterday, pretty much. We're seeing some panic on these guys. We're talking about if we should maybe invest in some of these cards. The Path to Glory cards have gone to the moon. We'll talk about that as well. Black Friday getting closer and closer. Lots to talk about, and a lot of different scenarios that could happen on this game. So I think let's just begin with, usually we talk about leaks at the beginning of videos, and we got no other leaks other than just the fact that we have the 89 overall max hero, which we've talked about, and the 86 plus team of the week player pack. So basically that team of the week player pack, it's team of the week 1 through 9. We are in team of the week 9. So that pack pretty much has to come today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. And I would doubt it would be Wednesday. I guess it could be Wednesday because we're not getting a new team of the week. So that could be on Wednesday, but it probably has to come this week, right? Some point, because my guess is we'll get a best of team of the week for Black Friday. It's something that we usually get, but I do think that we'll get the max World Cup hero probably today. Usually it's like the Monday's the day where we get these kind of like gamble pack upgrades, and I do think we'll see that today. Obviously it's never a guarantee, but usually that means we look at SBC fodder, right? Anytime there's a gamble pack, we look at SBC fodder, and right now it's getting invested in. At least the higher end stuff like 86 plus, 85 plus even is getting invested in a little bit right now. 87s are like 18k or above, 88s are going up, 89s are going up, everything's going up a little bit. So the buy window isn't nearly as good as it was. I bought a lot of 87s at like 17 or less a few days back. 85s are like 7,500 or less. So it's not the most perfect buy window. I think if you want to complete the SBC though, it's still probably worth buying cards now instead of like after the gamble pack. I do believe that like these cards probably will go up from this price. I don't think it's going to be as much as it would. I don't think the profit margin is going to be as much as it was. So you're not totally out of the buy window probably. You know, the max capacity for the rise isn't quite as much if you're buying them now, but I still do think buying them now if you're going to do the SBC is definitely going to be the move, because I do expect a bit of a rise on pretty much all fodder. I think the best fodder right now is probably even 84s, honestly, because of this pack right here, the 86 plus team of the week player pack. That's probably going to be something more like an 85 rated squad with an inform or something like that. 84 rated squad with an inform if they want to go really cheap. I think there's a lot of potential in 84s because they're not actually up that much. So if you're looking for like just strictly fodder investing, I think 84s probably look the best right now. I still think you can club stock fodder though. I do believe you can. It just, your profit margin probably isn't going to be as much as it was. And it probably even goes up even more going into content today, honestly. We've had nothing on the game for like 2 days. People are just waiting for this pack. People are going to buy fodder beforehand. Let's get into the rest of the market now, because there's been some crazy shit going on with the market over the last couple days. We've seen one part of the market completely just absolutely go to the moon, and one of the parts of the market just keep dying, basically. Let's talk about the Path to Glory cards. I think that's what most people probably want to talk about, because these Path to Glory cards are just going absolutely insane. Really, it's the Team 1 especially. Let's go back to Team 1. If you invested in absolutely any of these Path to Glory cards, except for Oviedo, they are all you're making an absolute killing on every single one of them. It's been a pretty insane investment. I bought these Surge Nabries at like 78,000, I think, and I already sold at like 98,000. So I was making like close to 20k a card. I was like, fuck it, I'm selling them. He's up another 20k, which is just insane. These cards are going to the moon right now. Antoine Griezmann, Lukaku's up like 12,000. Bernardo Silva's up a ton, like 60,000. Carvajal, I was thinking about buying him like 160, 170 the other day, and I didn't buy any. He's at 222. He's absolutely gone to the moon. So if you did buy a couple of these guys, which I did actually say in the video, I was like, I think Serge Gnabry is my favorite one. He's got up like 40k, so hopefully you guys bought some. GG's if you did. Araujo as well is up like 30,000. So yeah, these guys have gone to the moon, and the only reason is because Path to Glory cards are the only upgradable cards for the World Cup, and there's just a ton of World Cup hype right now because there's nothing else to do in the game. There's literally nothing else to do, so people are just like bored and are like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy some World Path to Glory cards and see if they rise when their nation wins their first group game. And if they don't, then they don't. If they win, then you're going to make some coins. That's what a lot of people's mentality has been. Kyle Walker's up a ton right now because England plays in just, 5 hours from when you're seeing this video, or when I'm uploading it, sorry. Romero's up a ton from where he just was. Papu Gomez is up. So for investing in these cards already, I mean, it'd be hard for me to get in on these cards anymore because they're so high up in price right now. And if we get that gamble pack today, you will see some panic on pretty much all facets of the market. Not a ton on the Path Path to Glory cards, but you will see it. But, you know, you can take a gamble with them. You definitely can. Like, if you wanted to buy Serge Gnabry, say he goes down a teeny bit today to like 110,000, something like that. When Germany play, if they score the first goal, if they score 2 goals, if they're looking like they're going to win, this card will go up. Every single card that's nation does well in their first game or like is doing well, you know, Lukaku of Belgium scores right away, even though they have to qualify all the way through the group stage, right? So it's not like 1 goal means a ton for them qualifying, but people on FIFA will think that it means a ton. And these cards, every card you see here will go up in price if their team scores first or looks like they're going to win the game. They will go up. So you always can gamble, like you always can, right? If you wanted to do that, I would do that on somebody like a little bit cheaper, like maybe like a Delaney, something like that, like Denmark player who's 30,000 coins, has already some demand because he's already a decent card. You know, if Denmark plays their first game and wins their first game, this card will be up in price. So maybe that's like a better kind of gamble rather than like the really expensive guys like a Bernardo Silva or Griezmann, someone like that. You know, if you basically can honestly club stock. What I would honestly do is if you got any of these discard guys like Azario or Oviedo, Milik, those guys, I'm fine like storing in your club just in case their team does well. Like Plata is at 13,000. He was at 10,000 before Ecuador won today. That's 3,000 coins a card. You know, who does Canada play? Canada plays Belgium, so that's going to be an insanely tough first game. Costa Rica plays Spain, also very tough first game. But like, let's try and find a nation here. Like Poland plays Mexico. And if you go to Milik, who's got a little bit of demand because he's lengthy, taller striker in the Serie A. If he wins the first game, he'll probably go up in price. There's always a chance to gamble on these cards. You always can. Now, Marvel Heroes, what we'll talk about next. These cards have kind of dropped a little bit, mainly because Black Friday is coming. So people are just not really willing to hold on to a ton of cards right now, besides the Path to Glory cards. Rudy's down a bunch. Forlan's down a little bit. Nakata, who's just released, is all the way down to 150k. These hero cards that were like just released in this last release have done really just they've basically just gone down ever since they've been released. Like Nakata's at 200,000 coins like all day Saturday. He's all the way down to 145 now. Same goes with Brolin. He's just completely dropped ever since he's come out. Joe Cole's kind of dropped ever since he's come out too. I can't believe how cheap Joe Cole is. 304k is pretty good deal if you ask me. Some of these guys have dropped, and the reason being is just because the whole market's dropping right now. Because Black Friday's coming, people just don't really feel comfortable holding on to a ton of cards at the moment, and it's hard for me to blame them. I was saying for you guys to get out of these cards, or any cards you had, probably as early as you can in the weekend, because of the fact people just aren't going to be buying over the course of this week, because Black Friday is such an unknown. Usually we see such supply on that day or the days after it. That whole weekend is just packs galore. So you could look at some of these cheaper cards for like investing in if we do see some panic when the World Cup Hero SBC drops today. I wouldn't expect a huge rebound like usual because Black Friday is coming, so it kind of negates a lot of that rebound that we might see. So I don't love investing in some of these. I think you could see a slight rise on some of the cheaper ones, maybe. Someone like a Mascherano, right? Some of these cheaper guys, maybe you could see like a bit of a rebound on after the Hero SBC comes out. But I'm not expecting too much, so I don't love investing in it because I'm not expecting a giant buyback like usual. Gold cards right now are just going to the floor again. You know, Mbappe is going down, Van Dijk's going down, Vinny's going down. Where's Neymar at? Neymar's 275. He's the guy I always like to look at to kind of see what the market's looking like for the golds. 275. And the reason being is, again, Black Friday, right? Golds obviously get really supplied on Black Friday. Usually they take a really big hit, so people are expecting that same thing to happen again. Also, when it goes to like these really high-end team of the weeks too, best of team of the week is a high possibility. If we look at Black Friday FIFA 22, we saw the best of team of the week right here. Best of team of the week players will return alongside team of the week 10 over Black Friday, so it's the same exact team of the week. Now, we've had 9 team of the weeks. Team of the week 10 would be this Friday, even though we won't get a literal team of the week. We might get a best of team of the week where someone like a Neymar could be in it, a Haaland could be in it. So I would sell these guys, honestly. You know, Neymar at 1 million, even though Erling Haaland has dropped so much, he's 301,000. I'm still fine selling these like team of the weeks that you might expect to be in best of team of the week. A Neymar, a Mo Salah, you know, second in form Mo Salah. Someone like this, I'm totally fine with selling because I'm just expecting a lot of supply on the way for these cards. If we get a best of team of the week, and if we don't get one, then oh well. But I think that the risk is pretty high on some of these like best of team of the week cards. So Neymar Gold's 275, even though he'll be out of packs if there is a best of team of the week. His gold will still get sold, so this gold will go down again. And then the inform, you know, it just adds more of a reason for the inform to go down in price. So if I were you, if you think you have a player from the best of team of the week that's potentially a great inform, I'm fine selling him if you haven't sold already. Even though they're down already, I'm still fine selling. But when it comes to Black Friday, and what you should do with your team, like buying a team this week, is many people are gonna want to get their 8 wins and that kind of stuff. So people are gonna want to buy teams. So listen to my advice. and say you sold already over the weekend, you know, should I buy a team again over the course of this whole week? And honestly, I would go untradeable as much as you could this entire week. I really would, because worst case scenario is like just complete crash. You know, if you have any gold cards, if you have it, most people just have Mbappe's in their team. You know, if you have it Mbappe, worst case scenario is not great. I know he could be in best of team of the week, which would maybe make his gold not drop as much. At the same time, there's just so much risk with a lot of these gold cards and really a lot of the cards in general, that I'm just fine going as untradeable as you can all week, basically until we figure out what the heck is happening with Black Friday. You obviously can buy some cards, right? Like if you buy the World Cup hero cards, the nice thing is buying these cards, you basically know you're not going to lose buying power, right? You could lose coins. Like say you buy a Rudy and during, you know, we get closer to Black Friday, he's like 830k instead of 870. The thing is the whole market's going to be going down if these cards go down. So these are like kind of my favorite cards to buy if you want to buy tradable cards. The ones that are most in demand, best in the game. Because even if you lose coins in this, guys, going into like closer to Black Friday, at least the whole market's down. I would rather be untradeable myself. But if you want to get, you know, if you're in Elite Division, right, and you don't have many good untradables, and you want to use Mascherano or Carvalho or Nakata or whoever you want to use, you sure can, because it's not going to kill you if these cards drop in price. So that's my advice for you guys over the course of the entire week. Also, random thought, by the way, once Weekend League, or for Weekend League rewards, once Team of the Week is no longer a thing, what? Oh, so is this, it just says guarantees 3 Team of the Week players. So are we guaranteed 3 of any Team of the Week? Is that like what the future holds for this? I was wondering this because I was like, if I save this, what's going to happen? So I don't know what this is going to look like after we save it. I'm assuming it's just like any 3 Team of the Week players, which I would not mind. Like, did they talk about this? Like, let me know if you guys know, because I was wondering what is going to happen to these Team of the Week packs when we don't have a Team of the Week anymore. But yeah, I just hope EA, coming into today, you know, even if we get the hero pack, I'm worried that we're going to get the hero SBC and then like we're going to get another 2 days after that of just like non-tent. You know, I just think the World Cup content is just so, a lot of it is just so not worth doing. It's just not worth their time. You know, they release a lot of stuff, but if all of it just isn't really worth your time, then does it really matter if they release a lot of stuff, you know? So I'm really hoping today that, you know, we get the World Cup hero SBC, and maybe we get something else. You know, that would be really nice. Some league SBCs, please. I'm begging you. So yeah, I don't think there's much more to talk about here. I would just say, you know, if you want to gamble, try and make some coins today. You can always gamble these Path to Glory cards. You know, if you just want to have some fun, you don't really care if you lose coins that much. Go ahead and buy one of these guys, see if they go up. But other than that, there's not too much going on with this game because everyone's just kind of waiting for the word on what the heck Black Friday is going to look like. Once we find out, we will for sure be discussing all of the ramifications of whatever the heck comes out once we hear about it. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. Any questions you guys have, leave a comment down below. I would love to reply to you guys. I'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Peace.